go.
In about 2000, 2001, my father had a simple angiogram, a one-day procedure, and at Memorial Hermann Hospital, Memorial City here in Houston. Good hospital, they did a good job. Afterwards, my father said, take your mother home, she's tired, everything's fine. They called me at midnight. My father was fully psychotic. He had not had a stroke, but he had not so much an injury, but an insult to his brain, like a million little blood clots. Because of that, he had...
How old was he at the time?
He was, at that time, he was like 80, 81. He had served in the South Pacific all over during World War II and had owned his own business, always been a hardworking man. And here he was in this condition where he had a problem with his brain, with thinking. He had hallucinations, he had all kinds of things. A neuropsychiatrist looked at him and discerned what had happened and said that perhaps he could recover. He needed testing. He was tested. Their rehabilitation specialist came in, and my father scored very high that he could be rehabilitated, and they needed to send him to their rehabilitation facility. They asked certain cognitive questions to see how you do, and they asked my father what the year was. And he thought for a minute, and he said, well, you know, I can't find the word, but I'm going to tell you this. It's 2000, and then you take a little bit more, and if you work that out mathematically, that is what it is. And it was 2001. That's very high functioning. He had to tell them, what does it mean? A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. And he said, only go for the sure thing. He was very on top of everything. He did great on this test. The rehabilitation doctor wanted to get his hands on him. He could rejoin the love of his life, my mother, the woman he adored, if he would spend a few weeks there. Well, Secure Horizons, they had a loophole, because it was that if rehabilitation wasn't under the same roof, it was in a different facility down the road a couple of miles, then they could deny him moving there. But because of his condition, they could not allow him to go home, because they'd be liable, because he was not in shape for that. Because of that, he was sent to a horrible nursing home. I got him out of that because my father was trying to get to my mother and was confused, only temporarily. He had to be in a lockdown facility. He had to be in an Alzheimer's unit, and he never had Alzheimer's. That is hell. That is hell. And that man, his love of my mother, in 2 months, fought through his mental confusion, and nothing else helped him, and he got out of there so he could be with the woman he loved. No thanks to a healthcare system who failed him, a man who served his country in war.